Hi there, and thanks for being here. I realized that I don't really make videos on this channel anymore per se, and it's a rare occurrence, but I wanted to fill you in on what's been going on all of these years. I still sometimes give an update or two, but this is more of a video, I suppose. So I'm Minimax Kiddo. I've always had this little side and the attraction to diapers and being little, and not always in a sexual way. It's more of a, I suppose nowadays I identify more with being an age regressor and AB more so than DL. But although I'm still a DL, I still find other people very attractive when they wear diapers and find it to be a cool thing to wear regardless. And things have changed. I've grown up. Yeah, it's been a journey for sure. And I know a lot of you have been tagging along since I made my blog way way back. And things just progress, and I'm really happy to see the community is still thriving and that we're kind of breaking the taboo at times, but it still is one of those things that's not always easy to be open about, and it's not always easy to share. And I've made a lot of good friends and family on this channel, and also just in general, because I do make a lot of content still. It's just not ABDL related. It's more within the community of hidden disabilities and stuff and advocacy work. And I do very well with making content. I always have, but I figured I would make a bigger difference there. I know a lot of you have been saying that, I was watching you when I was younger and you helped me so much, and I really appreciate all of those sweet messages and support. I really do appreciate it, and I'm really happy to still be a part of this community. And my little side isn't going anywhere. I'm still a little kid on the inside, and that can be sometimes very hard to deal with when you're actually a grown up. I suppose I am, or something close to it. I don't really feel a grown up, and that's one of the things. Not every ABDL is like this, and not everybody feels this way. And I don't know if it has anything to do with my autism or if it's just always the way I've been. I've definitely always felt little, even when I was little. And it wasn't really necessarily a sexual thing for me, kink-wise. It could be at times, but it was more the little feeling and just being little in general. And I still feel that. And I have a lot of little friends and people that get me and support that and entertain that part of me, where it can be hard to tell other people that don't get it about it, and you necessarily shouldn't always tell people. Some people just won't get it, and that's fair too. But I'm very happy that my family is supportive, at least my mom and dad, and I've got my husband Dexter still. We're still together, yeah, after all these years. It's been like 13 years or so, and I have my daddy Howie as well. He's a very, very sweet and supportive pillar in my family. Definitely feel like he's my second father, which is so cool when you think about like it's somebody across the ocean, and you don't usually find friends like that. But somehow I found both my husband that I have still and him, which was like a huge thing for me, because when I started my blog I didn't have friends. I was like going all in on this, I can just lay my cards on the table. I'm this lonely autistic kid. I wasn't really open about that part, but I'm just a lonely weird kid that likes to be little and likes to wear diapers, and does anybody feel like me kind of vibe, where I found this huge community, and it's been a very lovely journey and a very cool process of finding myself within this, and also figuring out that I'm not alone in this at the same time. There's so much to learn and so many people to interact with that I've just really liked this community, and I still do, although I don't really post a lot on here. I mostly use a lot of my time on advocacy work and other venues. It's not that I don't like this community at all, don't get me wrong. I just think that I could make a bigger difference in the disability community, and I really did manage to do a lot of that as well, which I'm very proud of. And some of you will be following on the sidelines, I know, and I thank you for that. And I'm not sure I'm gonna get back to blogging about being ABDL. I don't know if those sides mix per se, but so far some of you have found me on other socials, and it's hard to know what to mix and what not to mix. I guess I'm just still a confused kid and scared to really overshare, because sometimes I do feel like an open book, and I really do feel that a lot of you get me and that you want to support me, and I'm so grateful for that. But I also know that there's a lot of people out there that won't understand me at all. But you know, can't please everyone. But one thing you do gotta try to please is yourself, in a way where, you know, you gotta be true to yourself in the way that you go about life. Because the last thing I'd want to is waking up one day, if I was that lucky to be old and, you know, having lived my life, and then having that regret of not being myself, not being open to my little side, and just kind of forcing things through and being a grown-up I wouldn't want to be. Nowadays, I'm very happy being where I am, and, you know, I'm still little inside, and I always felt like I was a kid on the inside and kind of pretending to be a grown-up, but I'm kind of winging it here, and I think it's working somewhat. You know, I still bring my plushies everywhere, even to work, and still wear diapers now full-time. Also, I got more accidents now that I didn't have before, huge GI issues and whatnot. You know, autism sucks, but I always liked diapers, and I still do. You know, it's not something that's ever gonna change, and it's not something I want to hide. But I don't know how much of it I want to share, like, publicly, other than, you know, I'm being here, I'm even showing my face. It takes a lot of guts, and it even did back then, you know, when I was that lonely kid that did not necessarily know if I would ever find a social tribe, or, you know, people to hang with, or people that would understand this part of me. And I'm very happy to say that I did find that. And, you know, you're always very supportive. I'm still on a lot of socials. So I guess I just wanted to check in and say thank you for that, and being my safe space in that regard. Things change, people change, but, you know, some things stay the same. Have fun, you guys.